Today we are going to make chocolate macarons. I'm spilling all the tips step by step. Let's get started. Typically, when we make macarons, we feel nervous because it's just a little bit technical than some simple recipes. So prepare everything ahead so that you feel confident and ready. And that includes placing parchment paper on the baking sheet, set piping tip in a pastry bag. When you prepare the tools and ingredients, make sure that they are not wet or greasy at all, because egg whites doesn't whip up really well when even a teeny bit of like oil or liquids was in it. And highly recommend scaling all the ingredients using a scale to get the best results. So usually I start from separating eggs. And the other half in a mixing bowl. So today, as I typically do, I usually just separate egg whites directly onto those bowls. If you're nervous, I highly recommend separating the egg in a separate bowl first and then pour it in the bowl. And you can use the leftover yolks for other recipes such as like a pastry cream or French buttercream, which I usually use for macarons. Today, I am going to use dark ganache frosting as the filling. Set this up. Add almond flour and powdered sugar and cocoa powder. Almond flour, powdered sugar, and cocoa powder are all lumpy oftentimes, so we want to sift them ahead. And almost always you get tons of lumps on the sieve like this. So push them gently with your hand or a spatula. So I usually just get this much amount left. The bigger chunks, I usually just add it to the bowl so that the amount is accurate. And in a small saucepan, we add water and granulated sugar. Shake the pot like this to ensure that sugar is wet entirely. So I'm gonna start whipping egg whites. I love making macarons with Italian meringue because the macaron gets fluffier, the shell gets more volume, and the surface look more shiny, smooth, and beautiful. Immediately after that, start heating the saucepan. So our main focus here is that we want a very fluffy meringue by the time the hot syrup is ready. Okay, so we're gonna start heating it. Lately, I just like to put the lid on. And once the syrup starts boiling, the liquid starts falling from the side, so it just has the same effect as brushing the side with a pastry brush. But you can't really see what's going on inside with the lid on. So toward the end, you definitely want to take it out and check the consistency and also the temperature. And check how egg whites are doing. All right, now it's dripping from the side, as you can see. So I'm gonna take it off and check the temperature. So we want 244. The temperature gets higher very quickly toward the end, so don't go anywhere. And once it turns 244, immediately remove from the heat and pour into the fluffy meringue. Good. Turn it up. All right. It's ready, so hurry and slowly pour it from the side. Okay. Right now it's really, really hot. Keep whipping at high speed until it gets warm. While I'm whipping the meringue, I usually mix the flour and egg whites in this bowl. So first I cut like this, cut, flip and cut. Okay. Look at this. Now I feel they are warm, so I turn it down to medium speed. And then you can kind of push it toward the end, flip and push, flip and push. Okay. I think it's ready. The bowl should be just slightly warm, and so as the meringue. And it should be very tippy, but the tip should curls up like this. All right. Okay. I feel like the meringue spilled. So let's not take too much time here. We don't want to wait over here. Hurry, Aya, hurry. Let's keep going. Add all the meringue onto the flour mixture. Some people just divide the meringue into a few times. You can do it as well, but I usually just want to make it easier. I just usually add all at once. Don't waste any meringue. And then mix the meringue and almond mixture together. So first you can do the folding motion as you turn the bowl. Cut a few times and turn. Also, don't forget to clean the spatula on the way, because always the almond paste is attached to it. But you can still see the chunks of almond flour paste. So using a spatula, we want to smush it, join 8 and smushing it. You can also do circle motion, or you can do like lines. Try a couple ways and find which one you like the best. I usually just mix all the motions. And when you do this, push it with the good speed. Don't do slowly like this. Good speed, like this, to remove the paste. And then again, clean the spatula, clean the side of the bowl, and the bottom. Scoop it and drop. Swish it, and see if the lines slowly goes down and smooths out. Just a little bit more. And once it's a great consistency, you just want to be quick and stop piping right away. Let's check again. Check all those lines and see if it slowly smooths out. Okay, it's almost ready. I'll go just a tiny bit more. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm gonna clean the spatula again. It should flow like this. Slowly ease out and smooth out. So this is ready. You want to pipe it right away while the condition is the best. And then lap it. Okay, hurry, hurry, hurry. Taking the leftover macaron butter, I use it as a glue so that it's not gonna move around. Here. Cut the edge, insert it in a piping bag. Okay, then start piping. Squeeze and swish, squeeze and swish, squeeze and swish, squeeze, and swish, squeeze, and swish. Okay, so this is not that tippy, but I'm just going to toss just a tiny bit to release some air bubbles and smooth out the surface a little bit more. For this one, I'm just going to pipe a tiny bit smaller. Okay, at the very end, insert your thumb to squeeze everything out. And again, if it's tippy, you can toss it. If it's not too bad, you don't have to. I'm just gonna do like twice. Okay, that's it. When making macarons with Italian meringue, with many ovens, you don't even have to dry the surface and bake them right away. But for some oven, you have to, otherwise the surface is going to crack. It really depends on the strength of the heat in the oven. So if you're not sure, I recommend letting them dry just in case. With my current electric oven, it usually takes about 15 minutes. While I'm waiting for them to dry, I usually make the chocolate ganache. We kind of want to start making it ahead so that it gets thickened by the time you want to pipe it. I'm gonna use the same small saucepan that I use for the hot syrup. The water is simmering, so I'm gonna turn it off and place it on top and let it completely melt. All right, so let's check. Touch the surface very gently. Yep, and it doesn't stick, as you can see. Okay, it's ready. Let's bake. So, as you can see, chocolate is melted. And add a little bit of the cold heavy cream, like 1/3 to 1/4. And mix. So start from the middle and mix with a circular motion. You can mix it quick like this. And then clean out the side of the bowl. Clean out the spatula also. You want to make sure that it's evenly blended. And now add some again. Mix with the same motion. So from the center and gradually go wider. Clean up the side. And then clean the spatula. And finally add all the heavy cream and mix. Oop, the macaron's ready. Hold on a second, coming. Pause. I'm gonna bake this second tray. Okay. Okay, now at the very end, add softened butter. Use softened butter instead of melted butter because the texture of the ganache gets smoother. If you see like chunks of butter right here, like right now, I'm gonna use a whisk. Clean up the side. Okay, I don't see any butter anymore. Okay, set this aside at room temperature. The second tray is done. So let's check the consistency of the ganache. Look like this. I can pipe it for sure. Ideally, I want just a tiny bit thicker. If you feel that the ganache is a little bit too loose, you can stick it in the fridge and make it thicker, but make sure to mix it sometimes to prevent it from getting too thick. So I am gonna check in about 5 minutes. Sometimes when you remove the shells, you feel that the shell is very sticky. So the tip is, so lift it up and push like this. The ones on the edge is so much easier to take it off. And then the ones on the middle are a little bit stickier. Take it and kick. This. Take it and kick. And match them. Let's check the ganache. Yeah, it's nice and thick. You want very generous amount of ganache. Tastes so much better with lots of ganache filling inside. And then gently place it on top. Looks delicious. You don't want the ganache to come out, so don't press too hard. But at the same time, you want to see nice shiny ganache saying hello from the side. Okay, it is done. To store the macarons, wrap them tightly with plastic wrap and store them in a tight container. Try one right after they are made. The macaron shell is lightly crispy and chewy inside, and the ganache is soft. And chill them in the fridge. The shells get a little bit softer. And lastly, leave them at room temperature again to make the ganache really soft and melty again. I love comparing the three ways because they are all delicious. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.